Okay, so we got Colin Cowherd talking about Josh Allen winning the MVP. Let's hear what Colin has to say.
I do want to start my show talking about a player that can't beat Kansas City, at least when it matters, Josh Allen. So Josh Allen won the MVP last night, even though Lamar Jackson beat him head-to-head in the regular season. Lamar outplayed him on that game. Lamar had better stats. Lamar had a better passer rating. And Josh Allen won. And I have absolutely no problem with it, because I don't think 20 years from now we'll be saying, man, do you remember the year they gifted Josh Allen the MVP? Listen, there's two reasons why I would have given it to Josh Allen narrowly. Number one is, when Derrick Henry arrived in Baltimore, defenses playing the Ravens had to make choices and concessions. And many times it felt like the key to that team was not Lamar Jackson, it was Derrick Henry. And defensive coordinators had to make choices with the number 2 rushing running back in the NFL. In most years, Derrick Henry would have led the NFL in rushing, if not for Saquon Barkley's all-time year. As much as Josh Allen got support from James Cook, he was the 16th leading rusher in the league. Receiving core, they lost Stephon Diggs. Yet he won 10 of his last 12, 1 pick after December 1st, I think. And again, when you play the Bills, there is one and one mission only, and that is to stop Josh Allen. When you played the Ravens this year, some teams made the choice to concentrate on Derrick Henry. That, of course, opened things up a bit for Lamar Jackson. And the second thing is, not all MVPs look the same, and we all know that awards are subjective. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has 4 of these puppies. Tom Brady's got 3. There was a year that Joel Embiid of Philadelphia was gifted an MVP over Jokic because people felt Jokic had won 2. He shouldn't win 3 straight before the Nuggets even have a title. They did later that year. And Westbrook got an MVP because it was a good story. He had a bunch of triple doubles. That doesn't mean you win a lot of games, but it does mean something. And KD had dumped him, and it felt like, man, this poor he's stranded on the OKC island. So they gave him one. And I think we get to a point, 7 years of Josh Allen. Since he entered the league, this has mostly been the powerhouse offense. And he has been so great for so long, it was time. I think back to one of my favorite movies of all time is Goodfellas. Martin Scorsese was the director. He did not win an Oscar for it. I think it's his best piece of art, his best piece of work. He didn't get it. And he'd been doing great movies forever. And so he came out with The Departed. Very good movie. I don't think it's an all-timer. I like it. Top 30. Goodfellas top 3. And they gave him the Oscar for it. It was just too good for too long. And if you really boil it down, and I know you don't want awards to be like that, and Lamar's got better stats. They all look different. They come in different shapes and sizes. Sometimes it's the story plus the stats. But if you look at some numbers, he's the first player ever, 5 straight seasons of 40-plus touchdowns. And it's just recently that he actually got a really elite weapon. James Cook, that's their elite weapon. And for the record, he was 16th in the NFL in rushing. So in 7 years, he's got the most wins, he's got the most total touchdowns, he's got the most total yards through any NFL player, including Patrick Mahomes' first 7 years. It was just time for Josh Allen to win the MVP, his first. Nobody is going to feel 20, 30 years from now, this was gifted. Like Scorsese, it's time.
Okay. I see where he's coming from, and The Departed was a great movie. But yeah, Goodfellas was a better movie. Oh, nice save by UPL. I don't know if you guys saw that over my shoulder right there. Yeah. I think, like he said, MVPs are subjective. Josh did more with less. James Cook being the 16th rusher and Derrick Henry being up there in rushing definitely helps Josh's case. Josh losing his 2 wide receivers in the offseason, Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis going into the season, helps his case because he had a hodgepodge of who at wide receiver this season. not throwing any interceptions. That helped his case. That should help your case, by the way. At one point, like, I don't even think he threw an interception until was it like week 6 or something like that? It was a crazy long. It was pretty crazy late in the season before he threw his first interception. And then there was a game where he had a couple interceptions. I think it was against the Colts, and the defense ended up winning that game for them. They still ended up winning by like 10 points. So yeah, Josh Allen, the MVP. I don't think this is one of those Scorsese things where they're like, let's just give it to him because he's been good. I think he deserved it this year. I think he had. You can't always go by stats. And he got more wins than Lamar. The Bills were the 2. The Ravens were the 3. He got more wins than Lamar. Allen, this season, they lost to the Ravens, but they lost to Houston and they lost to the Rams. Both of those games were on the road. Playoff teams. The Ravens lost to the Raiders. The Raiders. Come on. That should disqualify you right there, losing to the Raiders this year. So, Josh Allen won the MVP. I agree with everything else, though, that Colin said. I think that it's subjective. You go by... Lamar had slightly better stats, but they weren't, astronomically better. So, in the end, Josh Allen wins the MVP. I'm totally fine with it. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace!